Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another version of Ask a Virgo and Friends. Tonight, Dutchy and I will be covering a wide array of topics, and we'll be talking some serious Virgo stuff. As the old heads in the Virgo crew, we feel like y'all should probably listen to us because we'll help you out in the long run. And that's where I'm going to start. Hey, Dutch, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing all right. I got a lot of crazy wind in my background, so you guys don't mind some of the noise. It's a little windy out here. Sunny but windy. How about you?
Not too bad, not too bad. It's evening over here, so it's what 9:30 for me. So
Oh yeah,
everything's dark outside. Shit, but
yeah.
that's
It's
living the
relatively early.
Hawaii life. Hey.
Yeah, it's like 4:31 here, so it's relatively still early. So
Yeah,
we got a few interesting topics we're gonna get into. Some
facts.
some super interesting things we got going on. Fix my shit.
Well,
Okay.
shit. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's talk about the first topic, the Virgo, the fights and relationship shits. So, could you go through the scenario that you gave earlier?
If you're traveling
Facts.
and you already have tickets to go to some exotic place, and it's you guys have been nipping at each other and nipping at each other and so forth, and you're going to on this vacation, and you're possibly going to be around this person's family. At what point is an explosive argument ever okay in front of your partner's family?
So personally, well, let's just put it like this: I'm a Virgo through and through. I'm a September Virgo, and that doesn't say I'm not throwing any shade on August Virgos, but I'm like right in the middle. So I'm like Virgo me, right? Don't embarrass me. Don't ever fucking embarrass me in public. Don't embarrass me in front of my family. Don't embarrass me in front of my friends. Do not come for me in front of those people because I'm gonna say some shit that may hurt you. Because at that point, it's no holds bars. It's almost like I'm dealing with an enemy now. I told my kid the worst thing you could ever do to me is embarrass me in public. Don't do that because I wouldn't
If
do it to
we
you.
are in front of your family and we're having a disagreement, a big one or a small one, I'm just gonna shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say because one, I don't know how this is gonna rock with us. We might have this big ass fight, and afterwards, it might be totally okay,
yeah.
right? Or it might not be totally okay. But if I decide to show my ass at this point, then that means now your family's gonna be looking at me like I ain't shit. Right?
Exactly.
So there's a way to handle things. And if it's just so bad, first
Go
of all,
for a
never
walk.
go somewhere without enough money to be able to change your ticket or get a hotel until you can actually leave. So always make sure that you've got enough money for Uber, a rental, a hotel, or a flight home.
And that doesn't matter who you're traveling with. You should be able to do that no matter if you leave your home. You need to be responsible for you, or at least be able to cover your ass, just in case the motherfucker that's with you can't. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't get embarrassed. Like, I see a lot of females that decide they gonna go out on a date and everything, and they just assume the dude gonna pay the bill. You can't make that fucking assumption. You need to have enough to cover both of y'all, just in case this broke bitch ain't got no money, and he can't help out. Otherwise, both of y'all gonna be standing in the back doing dishes. So I'd
Yeah,
rather cover
absolutely.
your bill and tell you fuck you and don't call me again
Yeah.
than go
Um,
out and not be able to cover myself.
I am never going to feel comfortable enough showing my ass in front of somebody's family.
Never.
Now, I'm not gonna fake the front. If I got a front and be around your family,
Fucking A.
that's yeah. I'm not going all together if I have to do any of that.
Yeah.
So
So I think what we're saying is it's never fucking appropriate. Like, for real, just don't do that. If we have to have a discussion that needs to be so heated, we need to leave the space. We need to get away. Hey, let's go for a walk. Walking is free. Let's go for a walk. Let's get out of here. Let's go have this conversation in private. Because for real, depending on how much you may piss off a Virgo, they may deck your ass. you got to be careful. You got to be
Yeah.
careful. Because the worst thing you could do to us is embarrass us in public. That's just a general
I
statement. That's a
refuse
general
to be
sentiment.
I refuse to be humiliated. You will not
Yeah,
humiliate me. You will not embarrass me.
ever.
Um, I I'm gonna do what I want to do. My family does not have an influence on my choices. However, my family is real vocal, and if they see certain shit, and my family don't have to meet you, if they see certain shit that just don't jive right, or just don't add up, or just something fucked up about you, they gonna straight up tell me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's up to me to make the decision on what I'm going to do after that, or if I'm going to choose to deal with you, after the fact. But I do feel like if there are people close in your family, they might hold some weight to, it just depends on how close you are. Me, I march to the beat of my own drum,
Yeah.
like if I see, if your parents are too, like if you're a fucking adult and your parents are very instrumental in your relationship, or are very,
I can't. I
that's
don't
not for
want to be bothered. That's not for
no,
me either.
not for me. That already
I mean,
tells
I
me
want your
right there.
parents to be a
Or
part of our lives, but like, they shouldn't be dictating to you, like, you know, how you should be
yeah,
dealing with me.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not doing
Like
that.
there's to
Sit
me,
down.
there's nothing wrong with a mama's boy or a daddy's girl. But
Because I'm totally your daddy's
if you're,
girl.
yeah, but if your husband starts feeling like your daddy is more of the husband than he is, and I don't mean in no weird ass kind of way, but in the sense of like that's too much. You know what I mean? And if you feel like you have to do everything for your dad and it interferes with your relationship, that's too much. And I would say the same thing for like a female. If
Yeah.
I feel like you're too much involved in what your mama got going on, and your mama's too much involved in what we might, that's an instant for me. No,
That's no
that's
bueno.
no,
That's
hell
no
no.
bueno.
That's not a
And
no. That's a hell no. I
that's
don't
a
want to
hell
be
no.
involved in anything like that because one, I'm too old for that type of shit. No, I'm not
Honey.
having nobody's mama question me about shit. Um, just like the fact of being a weed smoker.
Wait. Let's
Excuse me,
backtrack.
y'all. I'm also getting over a cold. I've been really sick the last few days, but
Let's backtrack
I'm
a
not
little
finished.
bit. Wait. So
Yeah,
they do that? Like
yeah.
parents,
There
mates
are
of parents
families.
will question what the fuck you're doing?
There are people that are in relationships and their mother or their father will feel like, let's just say we're in a relationship, you could be the guy, could be the girl, whichever, and my mom is asking you, so how is this, or what's going on with this, and what's this, and and some of it can seem like it's just being curious, and some of that shit is just outright nosy about what's going on in your relationship. I don't, just like same thing with fathers, you have some fathers that are above and beyond in their kids' business. But you also have some kids that bring or put their parents in their business. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
I
No,
think
you
those are,
definitely have that.
so here's why going into relationships and having arguments, especially in exposure in front of the family. First of all, you ain't even good in with me, let alone to be arguing in front of my family. That's
Facts.
number one. So you shouldn't be doing that. Two, I wouldn't do anything away from my home where I'm not around my own family anyway. That's
And
just
even
not
when
my
I'm in
style.
front of my own family, like my relationship business is not really your business. And so, like, even if I'm around my own peoples, I'm still not going to try to carry you. Not like that. That shit is crazy.
I
That shit
can't.
is crazy.
Some shit. They say age does not matter, but it does matter in some circumstances. And I think in a mature situation, if both people have a certain level of maturity, you won't find yourself in them situations. Me,
That
if I don't fuck with you and we're not A1, I'm not going on no trip with you. I'm not going on a trip with you, and I'm damn sure not staying at your family's house. That shit's not happening. I'm not doing none of that. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. If for any reason we get into an altercation or argument in front of your family, I'm gonna feel inclined to leave anyway. Be it you are the aggressor or I'm the aggressor, just because I don't need that type of awkwardness, and I don't give a fuck how much y'all say it's cool, ain't no big deal. It's all good. We're not judging. Yeah, fuck that. I don't care. I'm still gonna go stay in my own space, or I'm gonna go because it's just awkward enough for me to just not even want to continue in this environment because shit's already irrevocably broken that we've had an altercation in front of family.
And for me, I think that typically when I go places, like I've only stayed, I've stayed at my ex-husband's house when I was younger. I did it with his family. But for me, I prefer just to get a hotel room so that if we do have to have these disagreements or these conversations, that like nobody's around. Like this is an
Yep.
A B conversation. We don't need to put C, D, and E in the conversation. Jeff, thanks for commenting. He says more often than not, it'd be the mom's and the child's relationship. I agree that a lot of children put their parents in their business. Now I understand putting your
That's
parent in your
facts.
business for like certain things. Like, okay, if you're buying a house, you're a first time homeowner and you have questions about like
I don't know.
and
I I think to some degree, if you're single and you're buying a home, then yes, it would seem feasible to be able to include your parents. If me and a spouse were buying a home, you would think that it would be feasible for me to be able to ask my parents, hey. But here's
what do
what
you think?
happens. What happens is you have, and I do think mothers get involved more than fathers. That's not to say fathers don't, but it is, and it's both with sons and daughters.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to have an opinion. Oh, well, that's too expensive. Oh, well, y'all should maybe do this, or maybe y'all shouldn't do this, or maybe you should go with this. Well, I think this. When mom, all the fuck I wanted to know was, hey, could you explain this to me?
Yeah.
With
No,
parents,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
you won't get a lot from your parents without some sort of opinion attached, though.
That's true.
Parents are going to come with an opinion attached, whether we ask for it or not. So I think if you're a couple and you are buying a home, I think it's best that you try as best you can to do it together, have everything broken down and explained to you together. So that way it is a journey that you've done together. So nobody's parent could be like, well, I told y'all, because if it's fucked up and you're going to foreclosure, or if it's great and it's an investment, nobody can say, well, hey, I'm the reason why you made that investment. I told you not to do that because it was, no, we did it by ourselves.
I get it.
So, yeah.
But like when I first bought my first house, it would have been helpful to have some advice. Now I bought my first house very young, right? So I bought my first house at like 20, I think I was 25. So I needed that parental advice. And I didn't get that. And so I made some mistakes along the way that I probably wouldn't have made had I gotten that advice up front. Now, being older, I don't need your opinion on no, I really don't. I know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm a grown ass woman. And so if I'm going out to buy a house now, I know what the rules are. I know what the things are. I know what to expect. I know what to ask. But when I was younger, I think I really could have used that assistance. And I just didn't have that avenue.
In a perfect world, it would be great if we could, and parents didn't have their own. So parents a lot of times live their lives vicariously through us, and it comes out in our relationships, or mothers wanting the best for their son. They only want this, or our daughter feeling like, mother feeling like, you know girl, don't date him unless he has this much of such and such and such. And a lot of times, sometimes it's great advice, sometimes it's not great advice. But what does ultimately happen is when you have a relationship and you start adding family into your business, expect somebody to have an opinion on what the fuck is going on in your shit. And expect one person in that party between you guys to become uncomfortable. I personally don't want your mama in my business. Keep your mama out my fucking. That's me though.
But I'm at the age now where I'm with you. I don't need her opinion. I mean,
and that's what I was gonna say. I'm at an age where
I'm at auntie age.
Yeah,
I stole that from her.
And me and my mother are very close. So with me and my mother being very close, if I'm not discussing it, or if it's not something that I'm just funny like that. I think that's what it is. If me and you are not discussing it, what the fuck am I discussing it with your mama for?
Well,
and that's the same thing about fathers.
Yeah.
It's okay to have a daddy's girl, but you have a lot of females that have fathers that feel like if he ain't doing it like this, and he's not doing this, and he's an idiot because he's this, and You know, you could
Oh
have
yeah.
married this guy, and there's a lot of fathers that will look down, and or brothers too that will look down, and they might not be either. They might be just as shitty. You understand what I'm saying? But
But
they're
they're the
looking
ones
at
with
the
the bad
guy.
opinion. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's why it's just better to just alleviate all of that shit. Keep family out your shit entirely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, I agree with you to a certain degree. I think the age has a lot to do with that. Um
Yeah.
and also I'm not saying necessarily that I would go to when I was younger, I think we knew as a couple, first you have to have that bond as a couple to begin with, right? And so as a
Yeah.
couple, we would have approached my mom or his dad or somebody
Yeah.
like that. You know what I mean? As a couple.
Yeah.
I think that if you're asking for advice, it should be done as a couple so that there's nobody there getting kind of uh, getting freaking advice that is kind of detrimental to the situation, or
Yeah.
where they're in the situation where they're putting your mate down. Like that's just inappropriate anyway. Like your family has no right to put down your mate because that's the person that you chose to be with, no matter how fucking old you are. I don't get in
But
like my
you know where a lot of that comes from. People don't say you have. It's not what people say. It's how why they're comfortable enough to say it around you.
yeah. And it's
So
because you set the tone, though. You set the tone
yeah,
early on. I remember
yeah.
my ex-husband once said, we were talking, and I was like, well, why didn't they just come ask me? And he was like, because, Nia, people don't fuck with you like that. They scared of you. And I was like, what do you mean they scared of me? Because I set the tone in advance. I set the tone up front that, look, I'm not here for your bullshit. You're not going to be fucking me over. You're not going to speak to me any kind of way. You're not going to treat me any kind of way. Like, I'm coming to you with the same respect that I'm expecting from you. So I need you to show that to me. And that's in every relationship that I've been in. I set that tone up front. Fuck that. They ain't going to be running over
Once
me.
once I feel like you or your family or any of your mama, your daddy, or whomever, once I feel like they've crossed a personal boundary with me, or they once I feel like it's too personal,
Then
and
you
I
got
have
to
not,
cut. You got to cut it.
then you gotta fall back. You have to
Yeah.
fall back a little bit. Um, Especially if the family, because a lot of times some of these families come with their own set of drama, and you
They do.
gotta think about if you want to be a part of that too.
Yeah.
Um, you know, so again, I think when you involve family and shit, yeah. Oh no, yeah, yeah, Jeff, you're right. You have to set the tone off the jump, off the dick. You have to set the tone for a lot of shit
Yeah.
because I'll give you a prime example. If I enter a marriage with you and we're just starting out and you've been giving your mama money for years, right?
They got to stop.
Now it has to stop.
It
Now
has to.
I respect the fact that you're looking out for your mother. So if it's something that absolutely has to be done, then we need to sit down and we need to negotiate some shit, and we need to talk about this before we get married. We
Yeah.
need to talk
We need
about
to.
what's an appropriate amount for me to send to my family and what
And
you
for
send
you.
to your family.
Yeah.
And we need to come up with that dollar amount. And now I need to also know why the fuck this is every month, or why women are different. You know, just like if you have a baby mama and you like, I have kids with her, so I pay the light bill over there. I'm not dealing with that. You paying for your kids and them to have things is cool. I'm totally fine with that. Fuck, I'll send a coat and I'll help send them some shit too, because Tone love the kids. But let me
Yeah.
tell you something.
She said,
Um,
that you love the kids.
yeah, that's love the kids, baby. But listen, let me tell you something. If you're paying a bill, you understand what I'm saying? If you're paying a bill, I don't want to contribute to that. No, that's not the contribution that I want to have. I don't want to be a part of you still paying your baby mama bills and shit like that. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Real facts. Real facts. And people get caught up in situations like that. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't set the
Yeah.
tone. They don't have those conversations up front. Look, this is an acceptable amount of money for you to be sending out the house, especially if you ain't gonna be able to kick in what you said you was gonna be able to kick in over here. And if
and
it's
that's the thing. Yeah.
because now you're taking food out of my mouth. And I understand your mom may need some medicine, but maybe there's another way we can get it for her. You know what I'm saying? Maybe there's Medicare. There's a lot of different options, you know what I'm saying, if we have that conversation. Because I may know some shit that you may not.
And
And that's why
listen, and
we
I
got to
get
talk
it.
about
You
it.
want to make sure your mama's good, because hell, I'm gonna make sure my mama's good.
Yeah.
However, a
But not
lot
at the
of this
detriment to
shit
my
needs
house.
to be established at the beginning, because some shit I'm gonna be cool with, some shit I'm not.
Yeah.
Pay your baby mama's utilities because you got kids with her, multiple kids. I'm not cool with. If you're doing anything more than making sure that they have, that's not a situation I want to be in.
So let me ask you
Is it
this.
selfish? Probably so, but
It is very selfish.
I don't want to
But
be in
that's
that
me.
situation.
So
Yeah.
let me ask you this. Okay,
Mhm.
so I think you and I had watched the video, right? And we may or may not have talked about this, where
Mhm.
the guy had come over and he had bought his kid McDonald's. And the girl was mad because he bought McDonald's for just his kid and not everybody else. Do you remember that?
I do.
So, like, in that particular situation, I think he was right. I
So
think
it's
it's fucked up.
it's
Like, he
a
should have.
twofold situation.
Yeah.
Here's why it's a twofold situation. Because legit, if you had kids after his kid, like, okay, here's the circumstances. If you was fucking with me and you was looking out for all my kids at the time that you was fucking with me, and then we fall out, and then you feel like you want to get McDonald's and you no longer fuck with my kids, that is foul. Because just because I don't fuck with you, the kids ain't do shit to you. However, if we ain't never been in that type of situation and you just so happen to me and you have a kid together, you ain't obligated to fuck with them damn kids. Fuck them kids. You ain't obligated to fuck with none of my other kids. And if
Yep.
I had kids after that kid, so first of all, that says a lot about you and me. You
Yeah.
had a kid with my trifling ass, but does that make you obligated? Nothing makes anybody obligated to do anything for your other children. That person can obligate themselves,
But
you
they do it
know.
out the kindness of their heart.
Yes, like for instance, I'm not big on stepkids, you know what I mean? Because that's not really a situation I particularly want to be in. But you have to respect it. And if this man is claiming these extra kids, you
You gotta
know,
respect it. Yeah.
you either gotta fuck with him and respect it. And if you have kids with him, but see, it does bring other shit though. It
It
does bring
brings
other
drama.
shit about the baby mama. Yeah, because it's like, oh, I got one kid with you and this is the only sibling, but then this other kid, you know, now you got another kid with this person, that stepchild might feel slighted.
Yeah.
Or, you know, my child might feel slighted, you know,
Yeah.
because they only have one sibling in common. You have a previous kid, I have a previous kid, and they have this one child in common that makes them a sibling to that child, but they're
Yeah.
not siblings to the other outside children.
Yeah.
And then
And you're
at some
bringing them
point,
along for the ride. Yeah.
right? So there's a lot of shit that people don't think about that goes into a lot of these situations when you involve, you know,
Well,
a lot of
now,
shit with family.
you're right. You're right. And I think that the way he kind of did it was foul. Like, he probably should have taken his kid out and let's go have this meal together type deal.
Yeah, I
Or
definitely think
go
he should
get the
have did that
kid, let
way.
him come eat in the car. Don't have him, don't take no happy meal in front of everybody.
Mm.
Because kids love, and they don't see it from the perspective of, you know, you don't mess with mommy no more, so now you don't deal with me, unless they've been in a situation where they're seeing this repeatedly, right? But
Right.
typically, kids are just kids, man. They want what everybody else has. They're just trying to kick it
Yeah,
too.
and they don't understand that. And I think it does take now morally, it is fucked up.
But
It
if that's
is
all
fucked
he
up.
had and he had to feed his son, I get it.
Well, yeah, but that's when you morally. That's why I say morally, it's fucked up because at that point, hey kid, let's go for a walk. You
Yeah,
know, you don't got to do that in front of all the other kids because at that point you're just being petty or you have no type of home training.
yeah, yeah,
So, um, If I am being like that, I'm just gonna snatch my kid up. We ain't coming in and eat in front of nobody. Just because I was raised not to eat in front of people like that anyway without offering, it's just rude. It's just bad
Yeah.
manners.
Yeah.
But again, uh, it's a double-edged sword. You got to decide in the beginning what you want to deal with, because kind of once you already in the mix of shit, it becomes too late. It
Yeah.
becomes too late, and it's like,
But that's why
shit.
folks gotta choose who they have kids with, man. You gotta choose that shit wisely. Like
Like
you
if you
can't just
got two
willy
kids
nilly
that
just be out
biologically
there.
yours, but you claiming three other stepkids, am I gonna really want to deal with that? Nah, I could deal with the ones that's yours, but then you got all these stepkids and all this other shit. Some of that shit's too much for me. You know what I mean? Some people can deal with it, some people can't. But again, when you start adding a whole bunch of extra shit in, and you start having family get into your dynamics of stuff like that, it changes. Um, Another example of, at what point do you go to family for advice, because you should be able to, but
Yeah.
you
And
do
that's
run the risk of them having an opinion on your shit.
but that's why if you set the tone even with your family, man, like my family already knows. There's only
Yeah,
so much I need to hear.
yeah,
There's only so much, like for real, for real. I respect your opinion. That's the reason I asked your advice. But at the end
mm-hmm.
of the day, I chose this man. And this
Yeah,
is something I gotta deal with. I don't need your opinion if you think he's good for me or not. Shit. I'm the one living with him. I know what he does for me behind closed doors.
yeah,
And that's when that opinion, and even in like my younger siblings, my own kid, I stay out of their relationship because that ain't my business.
yeah,
Now, if you smack the shit out of her while I'm standing there, now it becomes my business.
yeah,
But
yeah.
outside of that, that ain't none of my business. You can yell at her if she allows that. Shit. What am I supposed to do? Hey, don't yell at my kid. That's not my business. I'm gonna listen to you. I'm gonna listen to her complaints if she has any or whatever. I'm here. I'm an ear. But at the end of the day, I'm not giving you, hey, you need to leave him. He ain't shit. I'd never tell anybody that because that's not my business. Because I don't know what he does for you. Because whatever this person is doing for you, I obviously ain't offering. So it ain't
If
my
I have
fucking
a see,
business.
I'm the opposite. Don't come telling me no bullshit about it, because I'm gonna tell you straight up what I think, and you stupid, and I'm gonna tell you a dummy too for fucking with him. Now, and I'm gonna tell you 9 times out of 10 that I've probably done been a dummy or done dealt with some shit. Because I mean, I'd be lying if I say I've never dealt with some shit that I wouldn't typically deal with. You know
Yeah,
what I
we
mean?
all have.
I've definitely dealt with some shit that I'm like, what the fuck? I've never dealt with this type of trifling ass shit before. You
I'm
know,
doing it now.
so I would definitely put myself out there while I'm giving you advice. If I
Yeah.
say, "Oh hell no, girl, I would never," and blah 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 blah, 9 times out of 10, I'm telling you, I seriously would never. But I'm also going to tell you why, because I've dealt with this, and I would never do this again, or I would never allow this again. Um, because
But I
only
think
you
it
can give
depends on the
me advice.
conversation. I mean, if it's detrimental to your health, I get it.
Oh yeah, of course,
But if it's just
of
some
course.
bullshit that you just want to complain about that dudes do all the fucking time, that's,
No, of
yeah.
course.
I'm
It's
not
some
going to be like, yeah.
yeah. There's some shit that I'm just
And
don't.
people
I
have
don't
to
want to
learn
keep.
their
Now, if
own
you're gonna
lessons,
keep
man.
dealing with it, I don't want to keep hearing it, because I am your family. So I'm gonna tell you the shit that your friends ain't gonna tell you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say that really hard shit, and you ain't gonna like it. You're not gonna like the hard shit I'm gonna tell you, and that's what I love about my family. My family, we're like that, and that's why I say you got to be careful, because your family gonna tell you the harsh realities, and then they're gonna be all up in your business. And if they have an opinion, you can't be mad
Yeah,
because you
that's true.
allowed them to
I see
have
it
an
from that
opinion.
perspective now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've allowed them to have an opinion, and you can't be mad at the opinion because you've opened that door. Once you
Yeah.
open that door to them knowing your personal, private, innermost fucking secrets in your relationship, guess what? You lost that right to be angry because you went and asked me for advice, or you invited. It's like a threesome.
So maybe this situation isn't it's more. There we go. If it's not, he's right. If it's not police report worthy, What happened to keeping your business in your bedroom? Amen. Amen. Because I mean, and he's 100% right, and I guess that's what I'm getting at. Like, if it's just some regular bullshit, I'm not going to tell you leave your man and no shit like that. That's just not my place. Says I don't care. But your single friends will tell you that shit. Bitches
Yeah.
without a man to be the first to tell you all that shit. How to have a man? You ain't got a man. Fuck you, mean. You know,
And that's the truth. But again, a lot of times, now see, that's where I exercise the right to cuss your ass out. Because see, if I have not given you the keys to the door to open up to step into the vault of my business,
facts.
keep your motherfucking business, keep your nose out my shit. You
And
know,
keep your
because
mouth to yourself.
then I could, yes, then by right I can curse you out for commenting. But I think oftentimes we look for advice, and if it's not what we want to hear, I ain't talking about me, I'm talking about you other motherfuckers. But if it's not what you want to hear, a lot of times you get angry at the person for having an opinion about your shit. But you involved them in your shit. You
Facts.
gave them that right to have an opinion the minute that you said, hey, I need advice, or hey, let me tell you so and so. And you can't really be mad. I mean, you can be mad, but should
But
you? No, that's
you
your fault.
really can't. You really can't.
And even
There
if
ain't
it's
much
police report worthy, even if it's not, I mean, shit, and that's debatable on what kind of police report. Because if even if we get into some shit and the cops get called out to my house, unless I am physically hurting you or you are physically hurting me, it ain't nobody's damn business.
what the fuck is
Nobody.
happening.
No,
Exactly.
unless I am physically harming you or you are physically harming me, it ain't even the goddamn police business. Unless y'all here to come take somebody to fucking jail.
See?
And I feel the same thing. And if you involve the police in our shit, I'm done fucking with you anyway.
Facts. Facts, facts, facts. I'm
Because
sorry.
I'm not going to do nothing that you're going to have to call the cops on me. And I would hope that you're not going to do nothing that I got to call the cops on you.
For
So
real.
if it gets to that point and you done called 911, I got to get the fuck away from around you because now you're threatening my freedom.
Facts. And my freedom is very important to me. It is the
And
most
if
important.
yes, if being in a relationship with you threatens my freedom,
It's time for me to move the
talk
fuck on.
about some shit happening and we out and somebody do something to you and I got to defend you and I go to jail. That's not what I mean.
What
I'm
you
talking
mean?
about
Y'all gonna be waiting together. You hear what he
you
said?
are the cause of my freedom in jeopardy. Fucking with you, and you have a negative impact on my freedom because of your actions.
Then
I
it's time
do
for me to
not
dip.
need to deal with you. I will
It's time
not
for me
deal
to
with
dip.
you.
It is
And
definitely
that
time for me to
includes
dip.
baby mama drama,
All
drama
of that
with
shit.
your mama, your daddy,
All of
your
that shit.
family, your homegirls, your homeboys, your cousins, your sisters, anything that involves my freedom from fucking with you.
I need to deal with.
Don't
That's why I see
don't do
baby mamas. I deal with them in advance. I let them know. I set the tone
it.
up front. Look, I'm not dealing with this shit. Now you may have another bitch that you could run up on, but please don't come over here. I'm a
This is
gun-toting,
how
law-abiding citizen, and
how
I'm
I
too
would
old
deal
to
with
be
a baby
fighting.
mama. How I would deal with a baby mama now as versus to prior 35 is very different.
Yeah,
See, this is why I never dealt with baby mama shit because I don't think I was ever in a place to deal with that type of shit. Now that I'm older, and if I just so happen to choose, you've been married before. Now this would have to be a situation where you ain't got multiple baby mamas. You know what I'm saying? This is your
what's up, Stabler?
situation.
What's up?
Um, what up, bro? This is your situation. How I feel as a grown ass woman. If this lady hasn't done anything to me, I don't see why the fuck we can't get along. If y'all
Facts.
want to do a little family vacation and it really ain't nothing, because let me tell you something. A lot of these bitches don't like their baby daddy, and a lot of these dudes don't like their baby mama. Sometimes it's really just for the kids,
About the
and that's
kids.
like it's a lot of it is really. And if you can get past that in your own insecurity, and that's what's really happening, I don't see anything wrong with it. Bitch, you and
I don't
the
either.
kids come over for the holidays. I'll fix y'all up a room. If
Hmm.
we can get along like that, and you can
But that's
respect me.
grown people shit. That's you got to be a grown
But
up to
that's
do
what I'm
it.
saying. But over 35, me over 35 versus me under 35 is a totally different person and how I deal with
Yeah,
things. Under
yeah,
35 me, I'm not dealing with that because y'all used to be fucking and all that. And I'm not saying that, but how the mind works, and you
Yeah.
legit are dumb to some of this shit. You don't, oh, I know y'all are gonna always, the whole baby mama, baby daddy stereotype. They're always gonna have some sort of physical
And
relationship, but
kindling
that's
or
not.
yeah, please.
That is absolutely not true. A lot of times, once that shit is dead, it's dead. But that does not mean that you have to be a problem in the relationship or why he can't see his kids because you being
Oh
snarky and
no no no
shitty.
no! When you do that, you overcross the line, and everybody should get
See, but
involved.
that
The
happens
family.
more. But that happens more often than the deadbeat conversation. The deadbeat conversation is mainstream, but when you always take something apart, it's more inner parts than the major,
Yeah.
right? So that's what's
Yeah.
what being broadcast. Along with your point, what you was talking about, the listening to the single friends and the mamas. A lot of times, what I see in society, the mamas be wanting the daughters to leave the man so they can be together,
Mm.
so she can move in, so she can be taken care of, so she can. It,
Told you a
and they'll
lot of
be
them are
wanting to talk
living their
about that.
lives vicariously through their children.
You did say that. You
And
did
they
say
Well,
and
that.
they and they want a redo. They fucked up the last 20, 30 years of their life. You got some way a halfway better handle on your shit. And it's the same thing with sons. It's the same things. A lot of times it's not even because she's not good for him. Your mama just don't like her for whatever reason. Because your mama's jealous of her. Could be.
You know a
mm.
perfect example who we talking about who pop in mind? Rashida Mama
Rashida.
Who's Rashida?
from Love and Hip Hop. My Goodies. Is that song My Goodies? Not My Goodies.
That's
Uh,
Sierra.
Sierra.
oh no, the Lollipop. The Lollipop. Y'all know Rashida. Her husband named Kurt.
I'm old. I don't watch Love
I
and Hip
don't watch Love and Hip Hop.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, yeah, her mama beat man. Listen, if you want to talk about, oh, well, Candy Mama, Candy Burrow's mama. Y'all know y'all seen
Oh,
her
I
mama,
know who
right?
Hop. Oh
that is.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
I know Candy
Rashida
Barrett's from
Mama times
Escape.
10.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
See?
Mama's times 10.
What?
Yeah,
Wow.
Oh hell no.
yeah, you can only imagine.
But you
Which,
know that I have seen, listen, bro, I have seen mothers feel like, and and believe it or not, with certain Haitian moms, I heard a lot of Haitian moms are really heavy like that. You know what I mean? With their sons. So when they get married, and you look at, this is why some cultures I wouldn't be able to be a part of, because the wife typically has to move with him and his family, and they might all live in a one family home. I'm not doing that shit. I'm not
hmm
doing none of that. I don't want to.
well,
I
you
think
got to indoctrinate in the mama rules and stuff.
yes. So I do feel like a lot of the girls, a lot of these women, they open these doors by involving their mamas in their relationships and shit like that, or involving their sisters or involving their cousins. And same thing with the fellas. The mama might feel like she knows best, or she knows more than the son, and maybe she feel like she dumb, and they spend so much time trying to hip them up on game that you missed the whole boat in your relationship, and you done made shit awkward and uncomfortable, because now
For
I feel
everybody.
like I'm married to your fucking mama too.
Yeah, no,
Right.
fuck that. Fuck that.
No, I'm not doing that. Or I'm
I
like
And
ain't
see,
doing
my,
that at
my
the
all.
comment,
mother.
Malika, my comment, what I was saying was, you listen to your single friends, and y'all gonna be like waiting to exhale all in the living room, dancing together,
Oh hell yeah. Hmm. Sad and
Say
mad.
that for the people in the
Pregnant.
nosebleed seat, because a lot of people that comment on relationships are typically, and I'm talking about as far as women. I don't know how that works with men.
Mm,
Are typically single ass women with failed relationships or had never been married.
Mm.
Most times you hear women that comment on your marriage are bitches that have never had a ring, like the
Preach.
fucking NFL, dog. Never had a ring, never had none of that. And
yeah.
that is very
Stephen A.
typical.
Smith. No, just play.
Never had a ring, but you can tell somebody else the doctrine of marriage.
Yeah.
And I'll never understand that shit.
Yeah.
So we have that problem amongst women. Like I said, I can't speak for y'all fellas, but
Well,
for
let me give you
us,
some insight for the fellas. Like,
okay,
we we'll hear things, but we won't go to the extreme that the family or the friends go to once she do something wrong. Like he'll be on your side and he'll be in your corner, but he'll still be like, hey, treat her like she ain't done nothing. No, he ain't gonna come around. Sometimes the other end be kind of having that little side eye and stuff. And it's like dudes don't necessarily do that. You know, you got two kinds of dudes. Like when you younger, you be like, man, forget her. You be more so about the bros. When you get older, you be like, niggas be wanting you to work it out with your old lady, bro.
That's what's up. That's what's
Niggas
up.
don't be
I
trying to give you
agree.
no advice to separate that because he don't want you out here like that. We ain't in the
Yeah,
streets no more running around chasing girls. So it's like, nah, he don't want you down. And he ain't gonna. He'll tell you something in your corner, but he ain't gonna tell you something detrimental. But like, try to work it out with your girl, bro.
that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree with what he just said because when I have a mostly male friends, and when I hear them give each other advice, um, what a young 20-something-year-old boy is going to say versus a man that's over 35 is going to be vastly different.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, even if he ain't shit himself, he's still going to try to advise his boy because he
Say, hold
knows how
on.
it's rough in these streets. You know what I'm saying?
Keep it a
He
keeper.
might not be shit, but he knows what he wants and what he will want to see him with, and that's a good woman. And a lot of dudes I see, like, hey man, some shit is not worth it. And if you got it,
But
you know,
those are
so yeah,
good
I completely agree
friends.
with that.
Those are good friends. And longevity and good
I rarely
friends.
hear dudes give their male friends bad advice when it comes to women. I
Because you
rarely.
know why? Because we're coming from a logical, analyzed aspect. We're not giving them advice emotional. We're
Yeah,
not talking emotionally. See, they be
Yeah,
talking emotionally and be rationalizing, emotionalizing everything.
it's
He's
like,
gonna come from a logical standpoint. One plus one is two. Then you
yeah,
go from there.
I agree.
yeah,
Think
yeah,
about this, Malika. If me and you call each other about some shit, if one is hyped, we've definitely had this happen before. And one is hyped, the other one gets hyped. And if one is like, "Yeah, fuck this shit," we're both like, "Yeah, girl, fuck this shit." And that's emotionally how we're built. We're driven that way. Because if my
yeah.
homegirl said "fuck it," we're not. Nobody's until it's too late gonna be logical enough to say, "Okay, well, wait a minute." Men do things off of logic, where women do things based off of emotion most times. Um,
Yeah. But I think even if we both like fuck that shit, I'm like, but you still ain't going nowhere, and you'd be like, neither are you, and because we know that we
Yeah,
have it
after
good
we
on
done
some
got
level.
through, yeah, after we done
Yeah,
got through cursing and we done drugged
being
and
mad.
built,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, you know, men don't typically do that. Us, we got to go through all the emotions and shit first,
we
and
got to go
then
through
when
the
we calm
moment.
down, yeah, then when we calm down, and then we start thinking logically. We
Yeah,
don't use
See,
logic
but
until we've expelled the emotion first.
by that time you kind of already steps behind because it took you 30 minutes to tell the story in the first place. He done told the story in the first 2 3 minutes.
that's true.
That's a fact,
So so they
Yeah.
and we
coming
hate
from
that with y'all. We be like,
problem
"Where's the rest of
solving
the
salute.
details?"
Right.
But see, I gotta say, as a from me, and you and I may have some conversations like that, but most of them ain't like that. Because I think you and I are a little more logical. Because I mean, all I hang out with is dudes, except for you,
Well,
and
yeah,
vice
well,
versa.
that's we're speaking from a devil's advocate standpoint, though.
Yeah.
You
Yes,
and I do mostly have a lot of logical conversations because we do think on a lot of masculine levels. But for
yes,
all intents and purposes, and for the show to
yeah.
advocate for women as well, we have to admit that a lot of times we are biological women,
And
us too.
emotions rule us.
Still,
Yeah,
emotions do rule us. You know what I mean? Now, when a man thinks emotionally first, I want you to think what his behavior is like. See, that's
you look
that's
like a straight
different.
bitch. I mean, I'm
Not
sorry.
not just no, not just that. That's dangerous.
That's
That's some
very
dangerous
dangerous.
shit. That is extremely dangerous because
Yeah,
men can't handle. They can handle logical shit. They can't handle emotional shit like we can. We
yeah.
deal with emotional shit better than we do logical shit. You see where the balance is? So when a man handles shit emotionally like we do, and he
He goes
can't,
too far. He goes too far.
that's some
That's
dangerous
typically when bitches be getting killed and shit like that. Because they're
ego.
emotional in the thing. And that's
When
what
you
I
mix
mean. Like
ego
he's
and
at that
emotion
point.
with a man, that's different. Yes,
Yeah.
ego and emotion with a woman, you know, yeah, we might key your shit. I'm not keying nobody's shit, but we're just
Yeah,
talking
I ain't
typical
buying your
women.
shit, so I'm not gonna
She
key it.
might
No.
key your shit, or she might
Bust
tell a
your
girl don't
window.
fuck with him or something like that. But when you fuck over a dude and his emotion takes over with his ego, yes, you most likely will come the fuck up missing. Some men can't handle you playing with them like that.
Yeah.
Some men ain't will not tolerate you playing with
And how
them
about
like
this
that.
though? How about this? You got a bunch of strong ones, but the like the physical shit, the physical abuse is bad. But what about the mental, emotional pecking constantly that we don't necessarily account?
I think
So you
that's
got the
worse.
strong
That's
emotional man.
worse.
At some point he snapped. It's just like
Yeah,
So I
that's
think
worse.
women suffer more physical abuse from men, and I think men suffer more emotional or mental and emotional. Now I won't say emotional, I'll say mental. I think emotional is 50-50 amongst both males and females. If because you got some women that are
You got
manipulative
the
as
women
fuck,
that
and
need
you
it
got
and the
some
men that
guys.
can't give it. That's where
Well,
the
you have
emotion is.
some
Yeah.
men that are emotionally invested, and
Yes.
these men that are emotionally invested, you cannot yo-yo and toy with their feelings. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's rare that a man will completely put himself all in
In the
until
situation.
he
Yeah.
gets older and to emotionally invest. So what happens is you do have women. I I'll stand on this shit 10 toes down. You have women that know that he might not physically do anything, and you can't break him down because you're not as strong as him. So you fuck with him mentally. You do. It's women that do little shit to, oh, he cares if he trips out, if he's jealous. You know what
oh,
I
I get what
mean? If
y'all
I
saying, but it's not as dangerous as the dude who gonna shoot the girl because he ain't give her the number.
Well, no, no, it can be because listen, what happens when you continuously plant little jealousy seeds just so you can get a reaction out of this man? And you keep doing that, and it's the same shit you picking. You setting little shit to fuck with him emotionally and mentally. And after a while, this nigga might snap the fuck off on you. You
Yeah, but
know,
that's after time. Like if you won't give her the number, that's like in the beginning. So that motherfucker was unstable to begin with.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a fact. He was already fucked up. Yeah, he was
So
fucked up already. But if
it's a
you
good
dealing
thing
with
you
a
said
dude
no.
and you know that this guy, he's the way that he is, and you chose him. But now y'all, you want to make him jealous, so you wear little bitty tight shit, and for men to comment on and see, that's gonna fuck with him. Or you
Yeah.
say little slick ass shit because you know he's not gonna curse you out and call you a bitch, but you sit there and berate him and emasculate him. You understand what I'm saying? Or you humiliate him in other ways. After a while, again, you keep poking the bear, it's the same shit. A completely normal motherfucker. He could have been
It's gonna
completely
snap.
normal. But love make you do some wild ass shit when you genuinely in love. And when you genuinely in love, somebody continues to emotionally and mentally fuck with you and start making you question shit. One day you lose your shit, and it might
You
not be
remember that
intentional.
Joy? Y'all remember that Joy Road case that happened? And like I think in Detroit.
What was the case
Speak
about?
on it.
The lady name was Joy something. He walked up to the old man and he tell her to say the girl name and he said it and he shot and killed the old man. But before he was streaming online and said, I woke up today and I just can't take it. He remember that dude online who killed that old man in Detroit on his
What?
camera on live.
Why did
Yeah.
he?
Hell
Okay,
no.
give us the case. Wait, wait.
I
Why
need
did
to
he
know
do
the
it?
backstory now.
Yeah.
Okay, so the dude, I forgot his name, but he said he woke up one day and he said he just couldn't take it no more. And it's wrong because he took it out on this old man, but he was driving, he got out, he found this old man, man had to be in his late 70s. He said, say Joy Hall or Joy something. That was the lady's name. And he said
Oh,
it and he shot the old man and then he
and the
went
old
on a
man
run.
didn't even know her.
No, the old man was so scared, may the universe bless that old man because he ain't had nothing to do with that. But he went on a run and he went to McDonald's later on and they found him and he killed himself in the car.
Mm.
Yeah.
So Joy was the lady he was dealing with.
Yeah, Joy was the lady he was dealing with.
What the fuck did she do to him? Well, that
Yep.
that makes
She
me
kept
think
fucking
about a
with him.
story. So this
Jesus.
this happened here. There was an influencer. This happened within the past year. There was an influencer. She was on TikTok. She was married. She apparently had been married 2 other times before. Now they weren't even barely in their 30s. Make a long story short, this is a story about a couple that had just gotten a divorce. They had not even, I don't even know why they were in the car together. They had gotten a divorce within a few days past. She was pregnant by somebody else. They had been done. They were on the highway. There's only 3 highways here. And he stabbed her multiple times in broad daylight in front of everybody. Mind you, he was a driver. So that has to make you think. They're
Yeah, I knew
driving.
this shit was going down.
He's driving. You stab her multiple times. Now, nobody thought about this till after the fact. I said, hey, y'all wondered what the fuck did she say to him to make him stop driving in the traffic hour? This was during traffic hour. This wasn't at night. This was in broad daylight in the middle of heavy ass. It looks like LA traffic here, and stabbed her, killed her on the
He
highway.
probably he probably it was like she
He
had moved
snapped.
on to the point where she was pregnant, and that's what made him snap, knowing he wasn't gonna lose it. But let me tell you, when dudes do it, it's dangerous. But they got a whole TV show called Snap. What's that?
Oh, that's about women though. That's about
Yeah,
women.
But
but
I don't think it was that because he knew already. I think
okay.
I think she may have said something like, "That's why
I
you
think
couldn't
he
get me
said
pregnant,"
something
or
in the car.
your little
'Cause,
dick couldn't
yeah,
work, or yeah, she said something to piss him
she
off in
had to
that car.
say
If
something
he's
because
driving
he's driving in the middle
and
of
he didn't
traffic
commit
and she's a
suicide after, did
passenger.
he?
Well, let me give y'all some insight coming from a man, right?
Mm-hmm.
What can be more dangerous than what a woman say? It is the more so the reality of him knowing that she's not gonna be with him no more.
Mm. So
So
you
it
think
can't
he
be.
still wanted to be with her?
It can be the realization of, oh, it's really over. That send man over more than something he can
But
say.
I think he's the one that filed for divorce. They had a whole bunch of issues. It was a Spanish couple. But here's the thing. He didn't stab her in the car. He got out the car and stabbed her.
Well, you know the
And it was
couple on
not.
Insta. The,
They
it
were
was a
on
couple on.
TikTok. Yeah.
I'm sorry, this shit ain't funny. It's not funny, but I'm
That's why
picturing
I'm giving him the play-by-play. Like,
a dude
when you
driving
start thinking you're driving,
and
you the
you're
one
on your way
driving,
home. And if she
going wherever
says
y'all
something, well,
going
you
in the
put the
middle of
car in
heavy
park.
ass traffic. You don't stab the motherfucker. You get out. Go
You park
grab
the
them out
car.
and stab them up. What the fuck did you say?
I mean, it could have been a word, or it could have been simply, oh, you want to get out, you want to leave. I'll make sure you never be with nobody
Yeah,
else again.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
could have
yeah,
wanted out the
could
car.
have.
He could have get in the car and took off, and she could have been like, look, I'm trying to leave. I ain't trying to be with you no more. And he
yeah.
pulled over and let her not be with nobody no more.
So now
And
he's
he
in
was
jail,
what's
right? He
messed
didn't
up.
kill himself.
Yeah. Oh, it's in Hawaii, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys look up the influencer,
Oh, he was an
TikTok
influencer.
influencer stabbed on highway by husband. It's easy to find.
Lord have mercy.
Story. He has no prior. He wasn't an angry dude, and that's why I said with men it's different. Um, Women snap
He
too,
snapped.
yes, but we're already known to be emotional. With guys, when they snap, that shit is different. It just is, man. It's just different because you got to look at who's more likely to cry. A woman. When a woman commits suicide, a woman is less likely to blow her brains out. A woman is more likely because of vanity. Now, this is proven scientific fact that a woman is more likely to slit her wrist or she's more likely to pop pills, whereas a man will have no problem blowing his own brains out. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He going for the
That's some
gusto.
wild shit.
I mean, if that's the way I'm going, though,
He
I want
going
it
for
to
the
be quick.
gusto.
Fuck that. I'm blowing my
I'm
brains out.
telling you that. So it's a proven fact because of vanity. Women, even the ugliest woman in the world, she's not gonna want to blow her brains out. She
She
don't
said,
want
look,
to
I'm
be
gonna take
found.
myself out, but I ain't about to mess this up.
Yeah, a woman don't want to be found naked or fucked up. A
It
dude,
depends on what my
when
body
they
look like.
go, dudes don't give a fuck. That's it for them. So
You
that's
got
why
some
you
dudes who
don't
stood in front of
hear.
trains.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that's why
yeah.
you hear less about men slitting their wrists and shit like
Jumping
that.
off of
That's
buildings.
that's mostly a female trait. That's mostly for women. Most women are OD on pills and
So,
shit
but
like
what you
that.
think the
Men,
ratio is to women who kill themselves after failed relationships? I think it's so staggering on man's side that it's not even worth reporting on the other
I
end.
think it is
I
more
think it's equal.
staggering.
For really?
I think it's about equal.
Equal?
I don't know, because
Well,
I think men will kill themselves, and a man will kidnap a woman But women, to keep a relationship, a bitch will go steal a whole pregnant woman and steal the baby out of this bitch's womb.
Yeah,
Just,
we've seen that
Yeah.
happen.
just,
A bitch
just
actually sat in a car. Remember the one that drove from like cross country with diapers on and
with a
shit
diaper on. That bitch had a diaper on and
to
drove
How
go
about
across
this?
stab?
country.
I used to date this girl. Her baby daddy followed me. You know how black people is. Her baby daddy's mother was the lady in Charlotte who stole a baby from the hospital and
No.
raised that girl. And she told me that girl don't look at that lady who kidnapped her like a stranger or a victim. She still love and want her mama.
Yeah, yeah,
And
she
you know,
do.
that's so apparently that's happened a few times too. We only hear about that one story, but
No,
that
there's like
stealing of
several.
babies.
Karina, her name was Karina, right? I think.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And I just
Something like that.
and I think and Kyle just told me about a story with with his brother, the girl he's dating that happened to, but she don't
Mm.
deal with the lady that stole her. But do y'all get what I'm saying though? You don't hear
Yeah,
about dudes running up in the hospital snatching up babies and shit. You hear they'll snatch your ass up. I'll bet you
yeah.
coming with me. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? But
you gonna have
women,
this baby here.
yeah, but
And the
women,
dude you messing with.
Yeah,
yeah, all
yeah.
y'all all coming. The nigga, you fitting in the trunk, bitch, you going in the back.
Oh God.
And let me get the zip ties too up off you. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But with women, it's a much more dangerous situation because a woman will abduct another woman while she's pregnant and will take the baby out of her womb. And mind you, this isn't like a rare occasion. This
Yeah,
type
this
of
shit
shit has
happens all the
happened.
time.
Yeah, this is like normal shit.
They're,
So
they're saying it's coming out that it's more cases out there that's not reported
Yeah,
than anything.
I
not
believe
report.
that. I surely. And now let's think about this. Now if we're talking about modern times. Shit, what do you think happened with women? Because you got to think, even though we've evolved emotionally, have we really evolved? We're the last ones in evolution to actually, So think about medieval times and think about all of that. You getting caught now. Back then, how many babies do you think were cut out of the bellies of women that wanted to keep kings? You understand what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, I'm
Or
sure.
or
Sure.
how many women were snatched up and held captive. Um, all of this shit now is because the news can sensationalize it, and we have a social media platform to report all this shit. But this
Hmm.
shit been going on since the beginning of times.
I
And
don't
you
know.
look at
I don't
Anne
think they're
Boleyn.
more violent. I think they tear down more empires through coercion, COINTELPRO tactics. You know,
Mm,
I think they cause more wars. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
definitely,
But as far
definitely.
as like domestically doing violent acts, I don't think they kill themselves nor do the violence as much to dudes. Like I know firsthand a couple dudes who done took themselves out behind their old lady leaving.
Mm.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
a lot of dudes that have. Uh, Women, there's a
Handsome
song
dudes
by
too.
Jasmine Sullivan called "You Gonna Make a Hoe Out of Me," right? Women will blame the wrongdoings of a man for making them promiscuous, while a man will not be able to handle himself emotionally, might kill himself behind his old lady, right? Like you said. But
Yeah,
you have women that feel like, oh well, this man don't want me, so now I gotta go and see if
fuck
this nigga
everybody.
want me and this one want me and this one. So women will literally become whores and will fault the last dude that they were with for why they have such a promiscuous
And that low self
attitude towards
esteem.
things. Oh yeah. Oh, my self-esteem. This. What did Cat Williams say, bitch? That's why it's called esteem of your motherfucking self.
Yourself,
You know
shit.
what I mean? You can't depend on somebody else for your self-esteem. But what
Or
happens is,
happiness.
yes,
You got to
yes,
be accountable.
yes. So what happens is a lot of women that can't emotionally deal with broken relationships, broken homes, or their own traumas, they use promiscuity, but they also would turn around and blame, men for their promiscuous ways. Now, is that fair?
See, that's fair, but I think is they don't realize they got a chemical imbalance. They're using the dopamine just like the addict to feel
Well,
comfort.
but how
They
is that
going
fair?
somebody's
But I don't
bed.
think you
You don't
can't
think
blame
what?
nobody for your promiscuity. I
No,
think
you can't.
you
No,
you gotta
You a
have
hoe,
some
no.
you
sort
a
of
hoe, you a hoe.
responsibility.
It's a
Embrace
good
your inner hoe.
scapegoat. It's a good scapegoat, but
Yeah.
no.
Embrace your inner hoe. Say that's what you
I was
did.
gonna say, just say you like to be a hoe.
Yeah. You a hoe, be a hoe. You know? I think a
But
lot of
don't,
us have
yeah,
had our hoe times. Shit.
don't say you love hard, dude. Just say you beat bitches. You know what I mean? It's just be honest.
Hey, but look, Dutch. Listen,
Did she really just say that?
that's something to look at, right? So that women claim they love hard.
Mm.
So why do dudes more dudes kill themselves after relationships? Who's
Cause
loving
they
hard?
because women tend to have a group of friends and shit that they can talk to and shit, right? So
Men
they've got
don't.
support system, a
Yeah.
serious support system that's there
Yeah,
to look
yeah,
out for them
you
and help
right, you
the
right. Cause
shit.
why niggas will laugh at each other.
Yeah, they be
Your
like,
girl
oh,
left
you
you.
know
Ah,
what? Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
listen,
Or
and
look
look,
how great it is to be
and would
single.
tell you to come to, ah man, come through, man. You know the homie, his lady left. Niggas would be sitting up there playing PlayStation, talking about, look at him, y'all, look, you over there looking
Yeah.
sad. Ah,
Look
Yeah,
at
niggas
him.
say,
yeah,
Look at him.
yeah,
yeah.
and
That you are right.
Or
That
invite
that's
you
how
over to
dudes.
their house with their wife
Yeah,
and then be like, yo,
see,
niggas,
but how you know
time
that
for you
though,
to
Dutch?
go.
You've been in a that exact
I
situation
have
happens.
because I have brothers, and I grew up
Same.
with male friends predominantly, and growing up with boys, I done sat there and seen a couple of my
And
partners
watch.
lose their chick. And I done seen my cousins and they homeboys, boy, get on their ass.
See, but
Always.
it
Right.
hurts us, but it helps us at the end of the day. Like you said, you be like, look over there, or look at him looking sad. Everybody
Oh,
laughing at him. He over there really hurt.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then one homie
But
may throw you a bone. One homie
and
may
they, and
throw
look,
you a
and they
bone.
not really trying to tear him down.
But
That's
they
just
Nah.
how
just like,
dudes,
man up
that's how
about it.
Yeah.
dudes deal with stuff like that to make you laugh. And for instance, I'll tell you, it's like, I was in a relationship, right? And we were talking about some if I lost my legs. And this motherfucker said to me, if you lost your legs, you gotta stay with me because who else gonna come and yank your legs and throw them behind your head and do stupid shit and tie your shit up so you can laugh? And but that's how dudes are. Women, we think, yeah, nigga, that's fucked up. But to a dude, why be depressed about this shit? We gotta find something to uplift you. You understand? With
Yeah.
women, we do things a little bit different. We get together and start, girl, you want us to go fuck him up? Or you want me to call him from my phone? You want me to
Mm-hmm.
stalk him from my page?
Yeah,
Shit.
stalking them, finding out shit about
Women,
them.
we get together and we support each other a little bit different. Your
Yeah.
man's is not finna call your shorty and be like, hey, why you do but a girl,
Your girl
if
gonna
you
call
tell
it.
your girl's gonna be like, I know you ain't this Chiquita like da 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 da, you know, and and they all gonna want to sit around and whoop your ass if she got good friends. And then you're gonna have that one chick that you don't fuck with that's happy about it because she wanna fuck you, dude. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
And that's
yeah.
the
But you already
dynamic
know who
of
the fuck she
women.
is.
Yep. So we have a different support system that y'all have. They
Yeah,
both have a support system, but they just completely function totally different. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
Well, it's time.
Men,
It's starting to change. Like the ones that are our support system, who we deem them,
yeah,
they label them
they real
taboo.
dudes.
They real dudes,
yeah,
but mainstream wise, they like Jordan Peterson, Andrew Tate. However, what men claim who our person is, that it's taboo. Kevin Samuels, taboo.
Yeah.
You
hey,
know.
Kevin was right about a lot of shit. I had to play devil's advocate with him, but he was right about a lot of shit.
I like
You know
Kevin
what
from the
I'm saying?
jump when you showed him to me.
But the thing is like it's a lot of women's empowerment, and I'm for that. I cheer for that because I got mothers, I got daughters. But look at the men's empowerment. Look at the movements and tell me what you see about them.
Yeah, and well, the sad part about it is the women's empowerment movement is a whole movement, right? It's just assumed that men have power or that they're empowered, right? Because you guys don't really have a movement unless you're a person of color.
Right,
Then
right.
you get into the movement of yes, well now I need you to treat me like a man, so I don't need a movement anymore.
That's true. That's true.
I just want you to treat me like you treat you. That's all I'm looking for. So we
It's
can get
crazy
rid of the
though.
movement. But the women, we're always going to have a movement because there's always going to be something that's going to bother us. Let me just keep it a buck. We're never going to have a utopian perfect world as long as there are
Yeah,
women in it.
yeah.
And that's just who we are. And I embrace that because we're always looking to evolve and change. But guys seem to get complacent a lot easier than women do.
You think so?
Yeah, man.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I've
I
been
don't
through two
know.
married. Well, let me put it like this: my guys seem to get complacent. 'Cause I been through 2 married. Well, let me put it like this: my guys seem to get complacent. 'Cause I been through 2 married. Well, let me put it like this: my guys seem to get complacent. Then you got to remind them about shit by stopping. You got to stop cooking or do some
You
shit
mean
like.
complacent is just like he getting the routine of just work, not trying to be different, travel, just think outside the box type stuff.
Yep, yep. It
Yeah.
just kind of all I got to do is go to work. I make some money, come
See, he's a
home
simple man, but sometimes like y'all mind don't stop running
at
sometimes.
all.
So
And I'm a Virgo, so on top of
right.
that,
Oh my goodness, I can't imagine.
yeah, this poor Taurus.
Oh,
I
oh, he
feel
was a
bad for him.
Taurus.
Yeah, I feel bad for him, but I am who I am, and he knew that when he married me. Shit.
You ain't take it easy on him, did you?
I should. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start. Let's see what happens.
Dutch all right over
Yeah.
there?
Huh?
I said Dutch all right over there. What time is it over there?
It is 10:35 for me. For her, I don't know. She
She
ran
said
off
she.
on us.
Oh, they probably in the afternoon, still in the afternoon.
She is. She is. So she may be having something going on in the crib.
So
But
y'all ain't had no major topics. Y'all was just floating on topics.
no, no. So we were talking about the Virgo fights and like how we act. And one thing we said was like pretty much don't embarrass me in front of anybody. So don't get with me in front of my family, my friends, in public. Like any conversations we need to have, if it needs to be a yelling match, needs to happen behind our closed doors in our home.
Right, right.
Yeah, yeah. So Virgos don't play that shit. So as other signs trying to come for us, you will get. And if you do come for us, be prepared to get shut so fucking down that you have no response.
Yeah, we ain't never been about having people in the business, especially having a say so in the relationship. It'd be like, regardless of who it is,
Yeah, yeah.
reg-
Facts.
that's weird.
And I mean that's what we covered today because now we had time. But we were supposed to talk about some Valentine's Day gifts, so we can still cover that because I'm still up and we kicking it.
I got a couple more minutes. Valentine's gifts.
I think they
What
evolve as
what
you get
what
older.
dictates the cost? Like what dictates the cost? Is it the
Circumstances.
Yeah, I was gonna say how much money you got in the bank. Shit.
Or not even that. You could have money in the bank, but let's say y'all just had a child or you're
Yeah.
renovating the house or trying to develop a LLC. And it's like, look, we ain't worried about no Valentine's Day.
I,
Let's just
I
focus.
feel if I
Uh-uh.
ain't been fucking with you that long, even if I do got the bread, um, I don't think it matters. It whatever you put out to me and whatever you've given me in the time between now and Valentine's Day, because for me, it's not just gonna be the gift; it's gonna be the sentiment. And
Yeah.
if you've been doing right by me, then I feel like I'll look out for you. But if you ain't really made no efforts as a man, because really dudes don't really give a fuck about Valentine's Day. They want gifts too, but
Yeah.
they're not gonna trip out like we are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Like
ladies,
we're
please,
literally offended if you don't get us shit. If you
yeah.
show up
But here's
without a
what I do
card
want
or
to say.
anything, there's like, I can't believe.
She done froze up again. Hello, hello, hello.
They
Well,
playing. They
until she
playing.
comes back, y'all got to stop thinking that men do not like gifts too. Please stop thinking that every holiday is specifically just for us. Men like gifts. And here's a fun fact, you know that they do have masculine bouquets. And dudes do like fruit and shit. So an edible arrangement at his job so he can snack on some
Oh
shit.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
you can do things that don't come across as feminine. You know what I mean? Um, I've bought flowers for a guy before, and I just picked green and purple as masculine colors, like an army green and a purple, some masculine. If he likes that, and he might not even like flowers, but it's just the sentiment
It's the
that
sentiment. You
that
know
he
what?
got something from you.
Or a care
I
package.
like that. Or a care package. Now I used to love to send the care
Yeah,
packages when my husband
care
was
packages are
overseas.
dope.
Yeah, man. But
Especially
then
if
when
Men
I
like
went
to
over
get
there,
their
I
feet
wouldn't get
done
that.
too.
Yes, they
Send his
do.
ass to go see Ling Ling and go get them toes clipped, girl.
see, but it's not. That's not socially acceptable to do that. So
Yes, it
Wait, your
is.
both of
your
y'all.
sound went out. I can barely hear him.
Hold up. You hear me?
You sound muffled.
Yeah, you sound muffled.
Let me turn this off.
Technical difficulties.
Shit, I've been having them all night.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yep.
perfectly.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
I'm saying it turned it. They know women. A lot of women are consumers, so it's like that's what it be about.
But taking
Yeah.
care
That's
of
what
your feet, or or Valentine's Day in general.
consumerism.
Yeah, man. But
Yeah.
I mean, a pedicure is a pedicure. I agree with man. My husband. Yeah, men need pedicures. Damn it.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like it's cool. Like,
So,
I think
yeah,
we forget.
Valentine's Day, Christmas, you get a pedicure.
I know. So I think we forget that it's okay to send a man on a spa day too, if he's a working man. Because if you
Yeah.
ain't doing shit but sitting your ass around the house and ain't doing shit, I ain't sending your ass to a fucking spa. But if you got a working man, you know what I mean, that's actually out there grinding, doing shit, it's okay to send him to the spa. Shit, he wants a facial in his. I mean, he might not. Again, men talk that shit about feminine aspects of stuff like that, but little do a lot of women know that they do enjoy self-care too. Men
Yes,
want
they
to be
do.
groomed
Yeah,
on,
we
and
gotta stop labeling that feminine to go to the spa and get a massage and get
Yeah,
like
man.
well, that's
like
what I'm saying. Like, they don't like. I guess people don't want to hear man and facial. You know what I mean? But yeah, I agree with you. We got to stop looking at self-care as just a woman's thing, because ain't nothing wrong with a man getting no manicure, no pedicure, anything. If you got a man touching on you,
You want soft
don't you
porn.
want his feet? Well, not just soft shit, bitch.
And
Don't you want his nails to be clean and manicured?
oh yeah, yeah,
Don't you
yeah.
want it to be filed? And you know what I mean? You don't
Yeah.
want no jagged ass nails rubbing across your damn
Ooh,
back
girl.
that got caught in your lace front if you have one. Whatever it is that you got going on, there's nothing wrong with that. For the longest time, they considered men that groom themselves metrosexual.
Yes, they
I
did.
don't agree with that anymore. I think some men just like to be
I feel
kept
like
up.
you cross the line once you can buff it. Once you clear coat it, you're metro, bro. Buff.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm
I
Okay,
not
clear
dealing with a
coating
I
is
man with
think
no
the
okay.
thick
polish
clear
on.
coat be kind of crossing.
I
What's
don't
wrong
like
with
no
buff?
polish.
What's wrong with buff?
No, buff is
No,
fine. I
buff is
don't want
cool
no
too.
polish on a man.
Yeah,
So here's
the
the
clear
thing.
coat.
That's polished to me.
Well, so buffing, I'm totally with buffing because they can buff it and it'll shine and look like they got a clear coat. Here's why I don't have a problem with a clear coat. It depends on the dude you're dealing with. Now, if you're dealing with a dude and you know his masculinity, you're dealing with a guy, you know his masculinity. Him wearing a clear coat on his, Now if he putting the shit on, that's yeah. Now if we don't went to the salon and they didn't buff you out like they were supposed to, and she just real quick hit you up with the ha ha. All right, I ain't gonna trip too much. But if you asked her on the way out, is that a number 045 and where can I find this? Hell no. That's a
What is
problem.
that? And how do you know that?
she's
Is that actually a thing? A 107?
she's a woman of many trades.
Is that actually a thing?
I think
Yeah,
that's the
no, that
number
is
for
a
clear
thing.
court.
Yeah, it is a number for it. So nail tech. So that
Yeah, I
is a
was.
number for an actual a coat 045, depending on what brand it is. But again, there's certain shit that, hey, if
A
we in the
045
bathroom,
to go with this Colt 45. I'm sorry.
What about if he doing the acrylic tips with the UV light and gotta let it set and all that?
Oh
it's
hell
time
no.
for you to go to. It's
I'm
time
out.
for you to go to bed.
I'm
It's
out.
time. It is your
I don't
bedtime
even
now.
I don't even find the black nail polish attractive on men.
Night, night.
No polish
I
on a
don't.
man. No
I
polish.
personally, I don't want to see no nail polish on a man, clear or otherwise.
Yeah,
Now, if
same
he
here.
done went to the salon with me and I know his integrity, and she just hit his ass with
So
the quick,
his integrity.
you know what I'm saying? And he, she didn't hit him on the toes, and by the time he, she got to the hand, he was like, oh no, because he might have fell asleep. He don't know this motherfucker was gonna put some clear coat on his toes. But we all know that he wouldn't typically do no shit like this. Then I'm gonna give him a pass. But if this dude get the clear coat and we get home and he wants to play spades and he keep holding his spades like this, okay, If I keep catching his
Spades with a
ass,
clear coat. You can't play. Nah, man, that's a lot.
no, you cannot play
You
spades
can't
with
play
no clear
dominoes
coat.
with a clear coat. There's a
You
law.
can't
No,
play
Men
dominoes with a clear
cannot
coat.
deal with a
no,
clear coat.
no.
You
You
can't drink a beer
absolutely
with a clear
cannot.
coat.
Oh, you can't drink a beer with a clear coat.
You
You can't.
can't.
No,
You can't
no.
drive a
You
nice
shall
car
not.
with a clear
You
coat.
shall not do any of the such. No.
Yeah, you can't even drive a
Um.
fast car with a clear coat. I mean, you
Nah.
could drive a luxury, expensive car maybe with a clear coat, like a Bugatti or something like
I don't
that.
want no spades partner with a clear coat. I'm sorry.
But like,
I'm gonna tell you, if he has a clear coat and he's got some Puff Daddy, not P Diddy, because y'all remember when Diddy was
Puffy.
Puffy, and he used to have that fucking clear ass, my lip gloss is popping ass lips every time you catch him on a video. You
I
will
just
not
thought it
have
was
clear coat.
Vaseline. I thought it was Vaseline, and he just used too much. And
Shit was
it's
horrible.
acceptable for a
Horrible.
brother to use Vaseline.
It is, but there
It was
should be
either
no reason.
Vaseline or Church's chicken.
If I see you with Vaseline on and you a dude, I better see it past the perimeters of your lips. Because if that shit is perfectly only on your lips,
you know. But he had somebody else applying that shit. It was
that
Vaseline. He
shit
was
better
sitting in the
listen.
chair.
If you are a male, I better see that shit all around here. So I know that you didn't know what the fuck you was doing when you put
Okay,
that
so
shit on.
what about the male lace fronts? I'm about to call those out. I'm tired
Oh
of it.
hell no! Or the spray, right? Ew. No, I'm not doing that either. No. Look,
I
for me, if it
gotta
do,
give
if it
an opinion.
go
I
ahead,
think
go ahead.
if bitches can run around here tricking niggas with these lace fronts, goddamn it, they can hatfish our ass too. Yes,
I don't want to
think
be
it's all fair
hatfished,
game.
but that's why I don't
Listen,
hatfish nobody.
But
y'all know what a hatfish
you gotta have
is?
like a designer to do all what they be doing. You know, like the Steve Harvey, the old Steve Harvey. You gotta have that in the budget. The makeup designer and the hair designer to do that every day.
Yeah, man.
I don't even like dudes walking around with a fucking Beijing. So, but is it fair in society now in pop culture? It is fair because if your
Wait,
ass is
what is a
walking around,
Beijing? The haircut that what you call
Nah,
that?
nah.
no, when they make your shit look like dark as hell. So a lot of
Jet
dudes they
black,
get their
China black.
jet black, their beard, their lineup,
Oh,
black as
oh
hell. That's a
yeah, yeah,
Beijing.
yeah. I didn't really think that was a real thing. I just thought those were parodies for memes.
It was a
No,
player.
those are
It was
no.
a football player named Carlos Boozer. He
Uh,
was the Beijing king. He didn't have hair. He had Beijing all over his head. He used to melt in the game. Oh my God, it's funny. Look him up.
so it's
Carlos
like
Boozer.
Oh
LeBron
my
James.
god.
Now Carlos Boozer is 10
Listen.
times worse. He's in the Hall of Fame of Beijing.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
nobody.
with the Beijing, I think initially it was just supposed to be like a little bit of a filler. I don't think it was ever supposed to be used as dark as it is. And I think like everything else, they done went and exaggerated the fuck out of it. And now motherfuckers is just getting these. Imagine not having no edges, right? And you got some shit that they make your edges really, really dark. And imagine going swimming or you outside chilling and it's hot and your edges start running down the side of your face. It's the equivalent of some shit like
It's
that.
horrible. We ain't tweaked the Beijing right, and I'm tired of the little white lines along the beard line
What
and
is
the
the
hair.
line? What's
Oh
the chalk
yeah,
line about? What
that's
is that?
ashy. That's
That,
ashy. They don't put no grease on their hair.
Well,
no,
no,
like that's what the
they do it
barber
on
doing.
purpose.
The
The
barber
yeah,
doing.
I noticed my son's last few lineups. I'm starting to notice that, and I'm like, is that how he's staying the lines or what the fuck? Because I'm trying to understand.
Well, you gotta grease that shit up afterwards. That's
They
why they're
put
supposed
like
to spray the sheen
they
on you.
put a guard. It's like like when you're spritzing, like when women spritz their hair, they put their little guard above their junks. That's what they doing. They putting the guard up, lining it, and going down to get it crisp. I just don't like that
So
white
why does
line.
it leave that white line? Is that like?
That's
But
what
can't
he.
they just
It's
put
like
some grease
tracing.
on it?
It's like he's
So is it
tracing.
intentional?
Yes, intentional.
But it doesn't go away with no grease.
Nah,
Now
it
you
go
gotta
it
go
go
wash
away.
your hair anyway once you get a haircut. Once you go home, you're supposed to wash your shit anyway.
Yeah, it go away. It go
Okay.
away.
Oh, but
Okay.
what you saying is you leave the barbershop, you're supposed to be looking fresh, and you walk out with this white line shit.
Yeah, you gonna have that white line there.
Yeah,
That's why I don't get that.
Yeah.
That brings me to this. I gotta say this. So men get Beijings, women get lace fronts. You got people that's out here getting veneers and all types of shit, right? At what point do you actually like what that person looks like without all of that shit? I mean, because if you think about it, those are just the micro flaws that you can see. Let's talk
Yeah.
about the chicks with hairy ass nipples and the dudes who can't. He got the bald patch on the side of his face so his beard don't connect. The dudes with the taco meat and shit, or the little balls that don't match his wang. The
Or the
chicks that got the
keloids or whatever those things are. I know it's a
yeah,
disease. No.
or the the chick that has like a gang of pimples on her chest or on her back and stuff like that.
That's
Like
just nasty.
uh,
Doesn't
well,
that just come from
but a
not
lot of
washing?
people can't help. Some people just have bad skin, and it might not be from
and
cleanliness.
and a
But
bad diet.
yeah,
Mm.
a lot of it
That's
comes
what it
from a
be.
bad diet, lack of water in their diet, eating hella greasy food,
Mm.
um,
Acid foods.
yeah, high in acid, low in alkaline type of food. A lot of times, your diet plays a big part in your hair. Like hair growth ain't got nothing to do. It's genetics and diet. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that's why people can't always believe these miracle whatever for hair growth, weight loss, and all that shit. They have to take into account genetics, right?
Yeah.
But what happens when, like, do you want to? I guess I'm asking, if you're with somebody, do you want to be with them before you get all your shit lasered off and before you look all perfect and you done spent all this money? Or do you want to be with them when you're in your ugly phase? Here's what runs the risk of two things. I know that you truly love me in my ugly face and you fuck with me like that, and now I done got all this shit done,
Yeah.
and I know you really super attracted to me. But you know what happens a lot of time? You still get cheated on. You
Yeah.
still get cheated on. He got a badass chick, and you can't figure out why I'm the baddest this and that, and he still cheated on you. Shit don't got nothing to do with looks.
It ain't. It's not about looks. It's not about that. It's just that
No.
you have to learn the nature first. Once you learn the nature, you understand the animal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
we're all humans, and that we're still in the species of animals under the animal kingdom. We're mammals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like once you learn that, you will understand a lot bit more. But what I see is that they play on confusing delusion to keep perpetuating the why did this happen? Learn the animal.
Yeah. Facts.
Because I trust a bear to be a bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's it.
I
I
mean,
don't.
and that's perfect. That makes perfect sense because that's why I don't understand why chicks think that like if he cheats on his woman or he cheats on his wife to be with you, he won't cheat on you.
I mean, a lot
Yeah.
of them try to label cheaters as the baddest dudes in the world, but I'll be like, be careful because you're talking about your grandpa.
Yeah.
Well, no man is exempt of mistakes.
No, no, I'm not saying that they're exempt to mistakes, but what I'm
Yeah,
saying is like if you're a habitual dude that does that, let's say, like you've got relationships where like for instance, let's say that you've been married 7 times, right? But you've been the same motherfucker the 7 times.
yeah,
When do you learn to start to change your habit? That's one. And then if you know that this motherfucker's been married 7 times, why would you put yourself in a situation to be with this motherfucker?
yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
They don't never stop. They don't never stop interest. You go to a concert, for example, Trey Songz, and you have 20,000 women screaming for him. That's not gonna stop the next woman from wanting him. If anything, that's promotion.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
promotion.
I mean, it's actually happening. We know that Trey's a low key predator. We probably didn't know it before. And are all these chicks telling the truth? No, but everybody ain't
Well, the
telling the same
majority of
pie
them are.
about. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But because he's Trey Songz, he's gonna continue to get away with it.
And I
Especially
believe
now
Kiki
that
Palmer.
R. Kelly has had charges. They have dropped charges, some sexual assault charges against R. Kelly, because it's been proven that some of these women lied. Did all of them lie? Of course not. We know all of them didn't lie, but we already knew that some of them heifers was lying. But that
Mm-hmm.
goes with anything. This is why situations like this are so harsh, because some of these dudes are doing some of what we're hearing, but a lot of times it's not everything that we're hearing. You
No.
know what I mean?
And what did you do to put
So
yourself in that situation? And I'm not trying to victim shame. I promise you I'm not. But at the end of the day, we all got to take accountability for some of our actions. And we all got to realize that if you going up to some nigga's room at 3 o'clock in the morning, he ain't trying to have a long conversation with you.
Or if you left your 15-year-old daughter with a 30-year-old, 20-some-year-old, 30-year-old man.
Yeah.
Because we still ain't talking about some parents that need to have their asses locked up. R. Kelly didn't walk in none of them people's houses and snatch up their
And
kids.
snatch their kids.
But he wasn't
didn't
convicted. He wasn't convicted for what everybody's giving him the jacket for. He was convicted of human trafficking crossing state lines with women. He wasn't
The
convicted
RICO
for
charges.
or these other
The RICO
things.
charges are mostly what did him in. Not so much this, because a lot of the sexual assault shit had been dropped, but the RICO charges and the traveling across state lines, yeah, that's what really got him. But a lot of this shit that he's been accused of, that shit's being dropped left and right. And I think when he was flipping out talking to Gail, I didn't do this stuff. I don't think he did some of that shit. Is R. Kelly a freak, nasty, dog ass dude? Yes.
I mean, we saw him peeing on the bitch, but yeah, for real, outside of that. But
R.
she was
Kelly
a consenting pissing.
He has not walked in none of these people's houses and snatched up or kidnapped none of their kids.
And do y'all know legal age in Chicago and Illinois?
What's the legal age of consent?
It's 17.
Oh, in Chicago?
I think it's a little. I think
yeah, but they may have changed that because a lot of these laws are being changed. When was it last changed?
I'm not sure, but in different states it varies. I think in Vermont it's 16 or so, or New Hampshire or something like that. It's
and some of these places 16. It's 15 and 14.
So is it morally wrong or is it legally
14,
wrong?
The age of 14 is the legal age for getting married if you've divorced your parents. But the fucked up thing is in the state of Texas, there is no age limit. If you 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, there's no legal age limit for your parents to consent. Hear what I just said. There is no legal age limit for your parents to consent for you to be married or given to somebody as their bride. That includes under the age of 10. Let that sink in. And Texas this is a current law.
Texas different.
Yeah, this is a current law.
I mean, didn't Jerry Lee, what was his name? Jerry Lee Lewis or Jerry Lee, whatever his name is, the Great Balls of Fire kid.
12. She was 12.
She was 12. He married his cousin.
She was 12. Elvis, same age. Elvis, that girl was underage.
Priscilla, yeah. Priscilla was underage.
Chuck Berry got caught up for taking young chicks across the state lines that were 15 and below. Yes.
But the only reason they were pissed with Chuck Berry is because they were white women. Let's keep it a buck.
But it doesn't matter if they was white women either way.
No, Chuck, but what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, that's the only reason that they really prosecuted.
So you trying to say if it was a black girl, they wouldn't have cared.
They wouldn't have.
Oh no, they would not. They would not have cared. They still don't give a shit. They don't give a fuck about what happens to us. They just. Oh, we'll save this for another show. About the young black girl that was missing in Kentucky. And then they found out that there was a serial killer. If y'all remember 2019, a lot of young black girls kept coming up missing, and a lot of people were ignoring that. And there was somebody that spoke out. Come to find out there was a serial killer who was killing young black girls. I'll pull up the story and send that to you guys so we can look at it. But yeah, so you got our organs, our young girls, our young males. Our melanin is priced at $400 and something a gram. All this stuff you can go and find on the internet. Look at any.org. Your melanin is up for sale. Your bone marrow is up for sale. Your organs are up for sale in the black market.
Umbilical cord, the sacs,
stem cells, and all that. We have young men being rolled up into mats and gyms, and their bodies being exhumed with nothing but newspaper stuffed inside because they've removed their organs.
Whatever happened to that case? I mean, we ain't gonna get into that, but I never really heard of them.
Go back and look. There's more you got to go back and look. So their family's still fighting about that now. They're still fighting that, and people are still wanting answers.
So we're gonna rap about missing. All right, missing people next week.
Yeah, the young man found in the gym, rolled up in the gym mat, and we'll get into some of that stuff with our young melanated girls coming up missing, and I'll get the story about the serial killer. And this is right here on our soil. So, yep. So, but in the meantime, folks, it's been real. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like, share, and comment
And
and
so,
follow.
y'all be
Till
safe.
next week, y'all. Good night.
Safe. Good night.